On our website, you can get PDF learning materials for free. Please visit englist.me.
Skip.
To move along lightly and quickly, making a step from one foot to the other with a hop or bounce. To intentionally fail to do something which would normally do.
Examples:
skip across the country, skip breakfast. We skipped the topic because it was too complicated.
Nervous.
Worried and anxious about something, relating to the nerves.
Examples:
development of the nervous system. Get nervous. He suffers from nervous breakdowns.
Paradoxical.
Seemingly contradictory or absurd because of having two opposite features or facts, though it is probably true.
Examples:
a paradoxical anecdote. Apparently paradoxical. It is paradoxical that the French, who prefer animal foods, live longer than people in other countries.
Reaction.
A response that reveals a person's feelings or attitude. In chemistry, a process in which one or more substances are changed into others.
Examples:
chemical reaction. Trigger a reaction. There was a chemical reaction of the lime with the groundwater.
Delight.
A feeling of great pleasure or happiness.
Examples:
a tremor of delight. With delight. The delight on the child's faces when they received the toy was priceless.
Invitation.
A spoken or written request to participate or be present or take part in something.
Examples:
a letter of invitation. Invitation of foreign investment. I will be very happy to accept your invitation.
Compose.
To write music, poetry, or formal writing, to constitute or make up a whole, or a specified part of it.
Examples:
compose an essay. Compose my thoughts. The structure is composed of three main components.
Presumably.
Believed to be true or likely based on the available evidence, or supposed to be the case without definite proof.
Examples:
presumably accurate. Presumably refuse the offer. The witness's testimony was presumably based on what he had seen and heard.
Appeal.
A serious, earnest, or urgent request for money, information, or help, a quality that makes somebody or something attractive or interest.
Examples:
draw out your appeal. An appeal for help. He needed to resolve the problem as soon as possible, so he made an appeal directly.
Abundant.
Present in great quantity.
Examples:
live an abundant life. an abundant supply of water. The country has abundant oil and natural gas resources.
Narcissist.
A person who is excessively self-absorbed, especially regarding their appearance or achievements.
Examples:
relationship with a narcissist, somatic narcissist. He thinks she is a high narcissist because she always talks about herself and her accomplishments.
Dilemma.
A situation in which a difficult choice has to be made between two or more options, especially that are equally unfavorable ones.
Examples:
chicken and egg dilemma. Be in a dilemma. The choice between bureaucracy and adhocracy represents a common dilemma.
Bore.
To make someone feel weary or uninterested, often by talking at length about uninteresting or mundane topics. To cause someone to feel bored or unengaged. Noun, a hole or tunnel drilled or dug into the ground, either for exploration or extraction of natural resources.
Examples:
bore diameter. Bore him with his stories. The lecture on quantum physics bored me to tears.
Decide.
To make up someone's mind about something, to come to a conclusion or judgment after considering options.
Examples:
decide a question. Decide on a course of action. She couldn't decide whether to order the pizza or the pasta for dinner.
Boredom.
A state of weariness, restlessness, or impatience that arises from not being interested or engaged in an activity, task, or situation.
Examples:
boredom relief. Chronic boredom. The long lecture on a topic I already knew left me struggling to fight off boredom.
Presentation.
The act of formally introducing or displaying something to others. The manner in which something is presented or given visually, verbally, or otherwise.
Examples:
presentation skills. Presentation slides. She gave a fantastic presentation at the conference and received a standing ovation.
Catalyst.
A person or thing that causes an important event to happen or changes the current situation rapidly. Chemistry, a substance that initiates or accelerates a chemical reaction without being changed itself.
Examples:
a catalyst in the process of hydrolysis. Catalyst for reform. The global financial crisis acted as a catalyst to unite the country.
Creative.
Relating to or involving the use of skill and original and unusual ideas to create something.
Examples:
creative writing. Barren of creative spirit. All the supervisor has to do is assign tasks that make his subordinates more creative.
Invention.
The creation of a new device or process resulting from study and experimentation, the act of inventing.
Examples:
the invention of new techniques. Common invention. Necessity is the mother of invention.
Fundamental.
Forming an essential base or core from which everything else develops or is affected.
Examples:
fundamental education. Fundamental rights. Human behavior has fundamental characteristics.
Discipline.
The practice of training people to obey rules or a code of behavior, using and punishments if these are broken, a region of activity, knowledge, or influence.
Examples:
break discipline. Rigid discipline. He quickly learned the military discipline.
Tradition.
A belief, custom, or way of doing something that has been passed down from generation to generation within a group or society.
Examples:
a tradition of a culture. Against tradition. It is a tradition in many families to have a big Thanksgiving dinner with all their relatives.
Definition.
A concise explanation of the meaning of a word, phrase, or symbol.
Examples:
a precise definition. The definition of a word. Parallel lines are, by definition, lines on the same plane that never cross.
Excerpt.
To take a short piece of speech, book, film, etc. from a longer whole. Noun, a short extract from a speech, book, film, etc.
Examples:
excerpt a passage from a book. Excerpt comments from the news release. Here are excerpts from several recent books on quantum computing.
Function.
The purpose or use of an object, system, or process, a particular activity or operation that is designed to serve a specific purpose, a mathematical concept that describes a relationship between two sets of values, called the input and output sets. Verb, to operate or work in a specific way, or to perform a particular task or purpose.
Examples:
function properly. Immune function. The brain is an incredibly complex organ that controls the body's function.
Interpreter.
A person who translates spoken or written language from one language to another.
Examples:
interpreter for the hard of hearing. Sign language interpreter. She worked as an interpreter at the United Nations.
Rhetoric.
Speech or writing intended to please or persuade someone, the art or study of using language effectively and persuasively in spoken or written form.
Examples:
the rhetoric of a debate. High-flown rhetoric. He was known for his powerful rhetoric and ability to persuade people with his words.
Concede.
To acknowledge or admit the truth or existence of something, often reluctantly.
Examples:
Concede a territory. Concede a point. He had to concede defeat after losing the game.
Brain.
The organ inside the head that is responsible for one's movement, thought, memory, and feeling.
Examples:
Basic brain function. Permanent brain damage. X-rays revealed a small tumor in his brain.
Refrain.
To avoid or stop doing something, to hold oneself back from an action.
Examples:
Refrain from alcohol. Refrain from religious activity. He refrained from commenting on the controversial topic.
Boring.
Lacking interest or excitement, tedious or dull.
Examples:
Boring work. Boring day. The lecture was so boring that many people fell asleep.
Hush.
To make or become silent, especially by urging or persuading others to be quiet or by speaking softly or gently, to keep something secret or confidential.
Examples:
Hush for a while. Hush up a case. Please hush your voice so that the baby can sleep.
Transform.
To change an outward structure or looks.
Examples:
Transform an education system. Transform heat into power. My father's death transformed my life completely.
Personalize.
To make something or an experience specific to an individual or group, often through adding personal details or tailoring it to their preferences or needs. To add personal details or information to something.
Examples:
Personalize social media profile. Personalize my workspace. I like to personalize my phone case with a picture of my dog.
Substitute.
A person or thing acting or serving instead of another one. Verb, to act as a something or someone instead of another one.
Examples:
Substitute coffee. Substitute teacher. I substitute skim milk for regular milk because we are on a strict diet.
Improvise.
To create or perform something on the spot, without preparation or planning, to use what one has available to do or create something.
Examples:
Improvise a joke. Improvise an escape plan. We had to improvise a tent using a tarp and sticks since we didn't have a proper one.
Melody.
A succession of musical tones forming part of a larger piece of music.
Examples:
A simple melody. The melody of a tune. This harmonious melody immortalized its composer.
Necessarily.
In an essential manner, in such a way as could not be otherwise.
Examples:
Not necessarily a problem. Necessarily true. This accident was something that happened necessarily.
Lean.
Having a noticeably small amount of body fat. Verb, to bend or move from a straight to a sloping posture.
Examples:
a lean horse. Lean athletic figure. Lean operational improvements often lead to better environmental performance.
Decision.
The act or process of making up someone's mind about something, a choice or judgment reached after considering options.
Examples:
decision authority. A selfish decision. She was struggling to make a decision between two job offers.
Transformation.
A complete change in form, nature, or appearance of someone or something.
Examples:
the transformation of a tadpole into a frog. Cast a transformation spell. Understanding unitary transformations of a normal matrix require considerable mathematical sophistication.
Engaging.
Attracting, pleasant, or charming.
Examples:
engaging story. An engaging smile. She was disbarred for her engaging in fraud.
Enterprise.
A business or company, a purposeful or industrious undertaking, especially one that requires effort.
Examples:
undertake an enterprise. His business enterprise. A growing enterprise requires a bold leader.
Pronoun.
A word that takes the place of a noun in a sentence, such as he, she, they, or it.
Examples:
pronoun usage. Possessive pronoun. In English, personal pronouns such as he, she, and they can replace a person's name to avoid repetition.
Solipsism.
A philosophical idea that only the self and its experiences are sure to exist or can be proven to exist, an extreme form of subjectivity in which only the individual's mind is considered valid or certain.
Examples:
ethical solipsism. The philosopher's theories on solipsism. The novel portrays the protagonist's journey from youthful solipsism to a more empathetic understanding of those around him.
Instrument.
An object used to make musical sounds, such as a piano, guitar, or drum, a tool or device used for a specific activity, particularly in specialist or scientific work.
Examples:
musical instruments. Surgical instruments. This electronic instrument is required to undergo periodic inspections to ensure precision.
Timbre.
The quality of sound that is produced by particular voices or musical instruments sounds different from each other.
Examples:
the timbre of a musical sound. The timbre of her soprano. His voice had a deep timbre.
Compress.
To press or squeeze together to make something take up less space.
Examples:
Compress the chest. Compress gas. She compressed the files into a single zip archive to save space on her computer.
Keyboard.
Device consisting of a set of keys on a piano, typewriter, computer, etc., that you press to make it work.
Examples:
Numeric keyboard. Keyboard instruments. Please strike the enter on the keyboard.
Eventually.
Finally, particularly after a long time or a lot of struggle, complications, and so on.
Examples:
Eventually become obsolete. Eventually succeed. The corporation eventually dominated the entire tobacco business.
Construct.
To build or create something, to assemble or combine different parts to form something whole.
Examples:
Construct a 3D image. Construct a dam. He constructs hypotheses that no mathematician has ever imagined before.
Mount.
To increase, go up, or advance gradually or continuously, to prepare and supply with the necessary equipment for execution or performance, to ride on something or someone.
Examples:
Mount a hill. Mount a counterattack. They mounted pictures on the paper in preparation for the birthday card.
Violin.
A four-stringed wooden musical instrument held against the neck and played by passing a bow across the strings.
Examples:
Violin soloist. Play the violin. The cello is a member of the violin family.
Bow.
To bend your knee or body, or lower your head. Noun, a weapon made of a curved piece of wood or other flexible material, strung with a cord and used to shoot arrows.
Examples:
Bow and greet. A bow wave. She bowed to the audience after her performance.
Chopstick.
A pair of thin, tapered sticks used in East Asian cultures to pick up and eat food.
Examples:
Chopstick holder. Wooden chopstick. She struggled to grab the sushi with chopsticks.
Electronics.
The branch of physics and technology that deals with the behavior and control of electrons and the use of electronic devices and systems.
Examples:
Electronics industry. Electronics store. The company specializes in manufacturing and selling cutting-edge electronics.
Radical.
Relating to the essential aspects of anything, far beyond the norm, mainly used of opinions and actions.
Examples:
A radical flaw in the plan. A radical cure. The government established by the coup was more radical than before.
Forth.
Forward, outward, or onward in location, direction, or progress, into view or consideration, with confidence, boldness, or in the open.
Examples:
Bring forth a beautiful vase. Call forth demand. I pushed forth with my new project, even though it would take much hard work.
Regard.
To think about or consider somebody or something in a specified way.
Examples:
Regard him as an enemy. Regard the situation as unfortunate. Frugality and industry are still regarded as virtues.
Privilege.
A special right or advantage that only one person or group of people has, usually because they are rich and powerful in a society.
Examples:
A breach of privilege. Privilege of membership. In the Middle Ages, the right to hunt in the wild was the privilege of royalty and nobility.
Dose.
A quantity or amount of medicine or a drug that is taken or administered at one time, typically measured out in specific units, a similar measure of exposure to a harmful substance or radiation.
Examples:
Dose adjustment. Daily dose. She took the recommended dose of medication to treat her headache.
Egocentric.
Centered on oneself or one's interests to the exclusion of others, overly focused on one's own needs, desires, or opinions and disregarding those of others.
Examples:
Egocentric personality. Egocentric worldview. His egocentric behavior was causing problems in his personal and professional life.
Bingo.
A game of chance in which players match numbers on a card with randomly drawn numbers to be the first to complete a specific pattern or sequence, sudden realization, success, or achievement.
Examples:
Bingo game. Online bingo website. They won big at bingo last night, taking home the grand prize.
Distinction.
A difference or contrast between similar things or people.
Examples:
Important distinction. Draw a distinction. I can't see any distinction between these two concepts.
Tenure.
The holding or possessing of a specific position, job, or property, the right to hold a position or property for a period of time.
Examples:
Tenure track. Job tenure. The professor's tenure at the university ends this year, and she is still determining her future career options.
Divide.
To separate or cause to separate into parts or groups.
Examples:
Divide the cake into 2 pieces. Divide money equally. Can you divide 123,321 by 11?
Scar.
A mark that remains on the skin after a wound has healed.
Examples:
Burn scar. Carry a scar. Even after the wound has healed, a scar remains.
Multiplicity.
A large number or variety of something, the quality or state of being multiple or manifold.
Examples:
Functional multiplicity. Multiplicity of languages. The multiplicity of colors in the sunset was truly breathtaking.
Solitary.
Existing, living, or doing without others.
Examples:
Use of solitary confinement. A solitary traveler. He never uttered a solitary word.
Communion.
The act or condition of exchanging or sharing thoughts and feelings. Christianity, the act of participating in the celebration of the Eucharist.
Examples:
Communion with God. Spiritual communion with nature. We use this tableware in a communion service.
Soloist.
A person who performs a solo, especially a solo musician or singer.
Examples:
A vocal soloist. Soloist musician. The soloist's performance was the highlight of the concert.
Orchestra.
A large group of musicians who play classical music together, usually with instruments such as strings, woodwinds, brass, and percussion.
Examples:
Full orchestra. Orchestra conductor. The accomplished orchestra will give 2 more performances this week.
Probable.
Likely to happen or likely to be true.
Examples:
Probable outcome. Probable cause of a fire. It seems probable that he has forgotten our scheduled meeting.
Professional.
Having or showing the skill appropriate to a particular job, competent or skillful.
Examples:
Professional athlete. Certified professional secretary. He has a professional demeanor and always presents himself in a polished manner.
Tedious.
Tiresome or boring because of being repetitive, dull, or too long, causing mental or physical fatigue due to its unrelenting nature.
Examples:
Tedious task. Tedious routine. The work of data entry can be tedious, but it is important for maintaining accurate records.
Chunk.
A thick and solid mass or piece of something.
Examples:
A chunk of money. A tiny chunk of meat. The new startup company carved out a large chunk of the market within a year.
Suppose.
To think that something is likely to be actual or possible.
Examples.
Suppose you're right. Suppose beforehand. What do you suppose the culprit's motive was?
Tiresome.
Causing weariness, boredom, or annoyance, dull, monotonous, or tedious.
Examples.
Tiresome task. A tiresome person. The tiresome argument between the two politicians seems to have no end.
Process.
A series of actions or operations performed to achieve a particular outcome or goal. A systematic procedure or approach used to accomplish a specific task or objective. A method of treating milk to make it suitable for consumption or use in other dairy products.
Examples.
Process improvement. Decision-making process. The process for applying for a visa can be lengthy and complicated.
Notate.
To write or mark down musical notes or symbols on a sheet of music or a musical manuscript. To make a written record or notation of something.
Examples.
Notate a transcription. Notate a poem. As a musician, you must notate your compositions accurately for others to read and understand.
Notation.
A system of symbols or signs used to represent information or communicate ideas. A written or printed mark or signs used to indicate musical notes, mathematical formulas, or linguistic elements.
Examples.
Numeric notation. Mathematical notation. The music sheet had a complex musical notation that was difficult to understand.
Metaphysics.
The branch of philosophy that deals with the fundamental nature and the first principles of reality, including abstract concepts such as being, knowing, identity, time, and space.
Examples.
Metaphysics study. The nature of metaphysics. Kant's thoughts provided the foundational ideas for treating metaphysics as a discipline.
Bunch.
A grouping of several similar things which are growing or fastened together.
Examples.
A bunch of trees. A bunch of schoolgirls. One bad apple spoils the whole bunch.
Crazy.
Stupid or not sensible, very angry.
Examples.
Crazy about cars and racing. A crazy scheme. The rain and thunder are crazy today.
Pictograph.
A symbol or picture that represents a word, phrase, or concept, a form of communication that uses pictures or symbols to convey information.
Examples.
Hand-drawn pictograph. Pictograph symbols. The cave paintings are ancient pictographs that tell stories of the past.
Zoom.
To move along very quickly, noun, the act of rising upward into the air.
Examples:
Zoom in on a photo. Zoom lens. He zoomed back in time to the soccer game.
Sect.
A group of people who follow a particular religious or philosophical belief system, especially one that is regarded as outside the norm or mainstream.
Examples:
Sect beliefs. Secret sect. The minority sect believed in a set of unconventional religious practices.
Draft.
A preliminary version of something that is not yet in its final form.
Examples:
A working draft. Write the first draft. During debates in the legislature, the draft of the law caused a lot of controversies.
Template.
A pre-designed file or document used as a starting point for a particular application so that the format does not have to be created from scratch.
Examples:
Template file. Template design. The template format provided a useful guide for creating the budget.
Straight.
Extending or moving in one direction without bending or curving, having no deviations.
Examples:
A straight line. Straight for 2 months. He was sick for 5 straight days.
Curve.
A bend or angle in a line or surface that deviates from a straight or flat path, a gradual or smooth change in direction or shape.
Examples:
Learning curve. Yield curve. The curve in the road was so sharp that I had to slow down to navigate it safely.
Freehand.
Done or created without the use of aids, tools, or guidelines, drawn, sketched, or created by hand without the use of stencils or other mechanical methods.
Examples:
Freehand drawing. Freehand signature. She drew a freehand sketch of the landscape, accurately capturing the mountains and rivers.
Split.
To divide, or to make something divide into 2 or more parts, especially along a particular line.
Examples:
Split a bill. Split a reward equally. Companies often split their shares to lower the stock price and encourage investors to buy.
Panel.
A square or rectangular and flat piece of something that forms a distinct section or component of something, a small group of specialists who discuss particular topics or give their advice or opinion about something.
Examples:
Panel discussion. Cost of solar panels. A panel of economic advisors from the United States visited the country to help rebuild its economy.
Install.
To fix furniture, a machine, or a piece of equipment into position so that it can be used, put into an office or a position.
Examples:
Install a door. Install a chairperson. The new president was installed immediately after the national election.
Lobby.
A large area inside the entrance of a public building where people can meet and wait. A group of people who try to persuade a politician, the government, or an official group to influence legislation.
Examples:
Lobby for legislation. A hotel lobby. That lobby group actively advocated environmental protection to the government.
Balcony.
A platform projecting from the wall of a building and surrounded by a railing, providing an outdoor space.
Examples:
Balcony view. Balcony seating. They enjoyed a romantic dinner on the balcony overlooking the city.
Visual.
Relating to seeing or sight.
Examples:
Visual navigation. Field of visual arts. The building makes a remarkable visual impact.
Performer.
A person who entertains an audience or group by presenting artistic or theatrical acts, such as an actor, musician, dancer, or singer.
Examples:
Circus performer. Professional performer. The talented performer captivated the audience with his impressive magic tricks.
Interpret.
To explain or assign the meaning of information, actions, etc.
Examples:
Interpret a graph. Interpret the question. Different people might interpret this news differently.
Define.
To state or explain precisely the nature, scope, or meaning of something.
Examples:
Define a word. Define my position. To advance this discussion, we must define success rigorously.
Hieroglyph.
A writing system using picture symbols, such as the one used in ancient Egypt.
Examples:
Egyptian hieroglyph. The hieroglyph of the bird. Each beautiful hieroglyph represents either an idea or a sound.
Exciting.
Causing a lot of interest or excitement.
Examples:
Exciting football player. Exciting news. The findings of the experiment were both exciting and unexpected.
Gratify.
To give pleasure or satisfaction to provide someone with what they want or need, to indulge or satisfy a desire or appetite.
Examples:
Gratify desires. Gratify curiosity. I always try to gratify my boss by achieving the sales target every month.
Multitude.
A large number of things or people.
Examples:
Great multitude. From a multitude of sources. This company is faced with a multitude of problems.
Dilettante.
Referring to a person who dabbles or shows superficial interest in a subject, field, or art without serious commitment or expertise, often conveys a lack of depth or serious dedication.
Examples:
dilettante artist, dilettante enthusiast. The company's dilettante approach to marketing was evident when its campaign lacked a clear target audience.
Pedigree.
The recorded ancestry or genealogical background of a person or animal, a list of ancestors, especially of purebred animals, that documents the genetic lineage of a particular animal or line of animals.
Examples:
family pedigree, pedigree chart. The dog's pedigree proved that it came from a long line of champion show dogs.
Extension.
A thing that is added to something to make it longer, larger, or wider. An educational opportunity provided by colleges and universities to people who are not enrolled as regular students. An additional telephone set that is connected to the same telephone line.
Examples:
time extension, telephone extension. They are building an extension to the house to add more bedrooms.
Composition.
The different parts of something's elements or ingredients, the way in which the different components are organized, a piece of music written by someone.
Examples:
age composition of the population. The piano passages in the composition. Their innovative concepts were consistent across their bodies of composition.
Impulse.
A sudden strong and unreflective wish or need to do something. The electrical discharge that travels along a nerve fiber.
Examples:
a combative impulse. Profound religious impulses. Nerve impulses cross a synapse through the action of neurotransmitters.
Implicit.
Suggested but not directly expressed.
Examples:
implicit bias. Give implicit consent. The implicit meaning behind his words was clear, even though he did not explicitly say it.
Criticism.
The act of analyzing, evaluating, or judging something, especially literary or artistic work, to find fault with it or to offer suggestions for improvement, the expression of disapproval or censure.
Examples:
criticism from the public. Harsh criticism. Constructive criticism is always helpful to help improving one's work.
Subway.
An underground railway system, typically in a city.
Examples:
subway train. Rapid transit subway. He took the subway to work every day to avoid traffic congestion.
Rename.
To give a new name to something, to change the name of something.
Examples:
Rename the street. Rename in plain English. The new owners renamed the restaurant to give it a fresh start.
Statistics.
The discipline that concerns the collection, organization, analysis, interpretation, and presentation of data.
Examples:
Statistics for cancer. Official statistics. The statistics demonstrate that poverty and unemployment are genuine problems.
Abstract.
Based on general ideas, feelings, or qualities and not on any of physical or concrete existence.
Examples:
An abstract noun. Abstract science. The invention of the camera triggered the development of abstract painting.
Provocation.
Action or speech that intentionally causes someone to become angry, irritated, or frustrated, a reason or motive for something, often negative or undesired.
Examples:
Provocation tactics. Verbal provocation. The politician's speech was seen as a provocation to the opposition party.
Synchronize.
To happen or cause to happen at the same time or rate.
Examples:
Synchronize movements. Synchronize our watches. The ball speed will increase when the lower body movements are perfectly synchronized.
Timetable.
A schedule or plan that shows the times at which particular events or activities are intended to occur. A list of train, bus, or airplane departures and arrivals.
Examples:
Exam timetable. Adjust the timetable. The airline's timetable showed a delay of 3 hours for our flight to London.
Adapt.
To make fit forward change to suit a new purpose or environment.
Examples:
Adapt fully to the environment. Adapt as needed. I advised him to adapt to his new surroundings.
Adaptation.
The action or process of changing to suit different conditions.
Examples:
Adaptation ability. Language adaptation. The company's adaptation approach has been extremely effective.
Wristwatch.
A small timepiece designed to be worn on the wrist, typically comprised of a strap or bracelet and a clock face with hour, minute, and sometimes second hands.
Examples:
Quartz wristwatch. Classic wristwatch. I received a beautiful wristwatch as a graduation gift from my parents.
Fabricate.
To make something, especially by assembling parts or constructing it from raw materials. To invent and present something false as true or real to deceive someone.
Examples:
Fabricate a chemical. Fabricate an excuse. The detective discovered that the witness had fabricated her story about the crime.
Symbol.
Something visible that is used to represent something else.
Examples.
Symbol color. Symbol for happiness. The dragon is considered a symbol of bravery.
Realization.
The act or process of understanding or becoming aware of something. The act of achieving or completing something that was planned or desired. The act of making something real or tangible.
Examples.
Realization of a concept. Harsh realization. Her sudden realization of her mistake caused her great regret.
Scavenger.
An animal or bird that feeds on carrion, dead animals, or other scavenged material. A person who searches for and collects discarded or unwanted items, often to sell or reuse them.
Examples.
Scavenger bird. Marine scavenger. Crows are common scavengers in urban areas and will eat almost anything.
Weird.
Extraordinary, unexpected, or difficult to explain.
Examples.
A weird dress. The state of being weird. My computer has been acting weird recently.
Theatrical.
Relating to drama, acting, or the theater, having the quality of a performance or show.
Examples.
A theatrical company. Theatrical production. The theatrical performance was a spectacular display of talent and creativity.
Element.
A fundamental or essential part of something.
Examples.
New design elements. Non-metallic elements. Natural selection is an essential element in Darwin's theory of evolution.
Clip.
A small metal or plastic device used for holding an object or objects together or in place, a short part of electronic media, either an audio clip or video clip.
Examples.
Tie clip. Short video clip. He fastened some sheets of paper with a clip.
Extraordinary.
Exceptional, unexpected, very unusual, surpassing the ordinary or usual.
Examples.
Extraordinary ability. Extraordinary weather. He narrated the extraordinary story of his adventure.
Drill.
A tool or machine used for making round holes or driving fasteners, a training or practice.
Examples.
The drill hit the well. Fire drill. Several military drill programs have become popular methods of exercise.
Intonation.
The rise and fall of the voice pitch in speaking.
Examples.
Question intonation. An unchanging intonation. Some questions have a rising intonation in English.
Questionable.
Doubtful or uncertain and may be open to question or criticism.
Examples:
Questionable ingredients. Questionable methods. The evidence presented in the report is questionable and may need further investigation before any conclusions can be drawn.
Mayhem.
A state of chaos, disorder, and violence, typically caused by a riot, violent confrontation, or rapid and widespread destruction, a situation of extreme confusion, disorder, and damage.
Examples:
Snowstorm mayhem. Create mayhem. The rioters caused mayhem in the streets, breaking windows and starting fires.
Clarinet.
A musical instrument of the woodwind family, with a single reed, a cylindrical bore, and a curved mouthpiece, known for its versatility and rich, warm tone.
Examples:
Clarinet reed. Clarinet player. The clarinet's unique sound added to the jazz ensemble.
Trumpet.
A brass musical instrument with a flared bell and a bright, penetrating tone, verb, to announce or praise loudly or publicly.
Examples:
Trumpet player. Trumpet solo. She played a beautiful melody on the trumpet.
Flute.
A musical instrument consisting of a metal, wood, or bamboo tube with a row of finger holes and sometimes keys, played by blowing across a hole near one end.
Examples:
Flute music. Play the flute. The flute solo in the symphony was beautiful and elevated the overall performance.
Peculiar.
Odd and uncommon, sometimes in an unpleasant way.
Examples:
Peculiar way. Peculiar people. The juice has a peculiar taste.
Conductor.
Someone who leads the performance of musicians or a piece of music. In physics, an object, substance, or material that readily allows the flow of electricity, heat, etc.
Examples:
Conductor directing a symphony. Oxide conductor. Diamonds are employed as thermal conductors as well.
Virulent.
Extremely harmful or poisonous, especially in a physical or biological sense, highly infectious or contagious, intensely bitter or hostile.
Examples:
Virulent disease. Virulent criticism. The virulent virus spread rapidly through the close-knit community.
Argument.
A set of statements or reasons used to support or refute a proposition or theory, a verbal or physical fight or dispute.
Examples:
A blazing argument. The argument against capital punishment. The argument between the two sides over the proposed policy was heated.
Decibel.
Also dB, a unit used to measure the intensity of sound or the comparative loudness of two sounds based on a logarithmic scale.
Examples:
Decibel level. Adjust the decibel. The concert reached 100 decibels, causing many people to cover their ears.
Affective.
Relating to emotions or feelings, able to influence or evoke emotions.
Examples:
Effective communication. Effective response. The effective bond between the mother and child was evident.
Psychology.
The scientific study of mind and behavior.
Examples:
Psychology experiment. Psychology of crowd. She had a master's degree in psychology.
Appliance.
A device or machine, usually powered by electricity or fuel, designed for a specific function or task, typically used in the home or workplace, such as a refrigerator, oven, or washing machine.
Examples:
Appliance store. Electronic appliance. The kitchen appliance stopped working, so I had to call for a repair.
Absence.
The fact or condition of being away from a place where they are typically anticipated to be.
Examples:
Absence from work. A leave of absence. Another critical factor of child poverty is the father's absence.
Conventional.
Based on or following traditional rules, standards, customs, etc.
Examples:
A conventional style. Get a conventional loan. She is very conventional in her thoughts.
Glut.
An excessive amount of something, especially of a commodity, that results in a decline in price.
Examples:
Glut of information. Capital glut. The restaurant had a glut of food left over from the weekend.
Concerto.
A composition for one or more solo instruments and an orchestra, typically in 3 movements.
Examples:
Piano concerto. Violin concerto. A renowned symphony orchestra performed the piano concerto.
Mischievous.
Causing or showing a fondness for playfully causing trouble, harmful or troublesome, especially in a playful or amusing way.
Examples:
Mischievous grin. Mischievous sense of humor. The mischievous child played pranks on his siblings all day long.
Florist.
A person who sells and arranges flowers, often as their profession.
Examples:
Florist shop. Florist arrangement. The florist's shop was decorated with colorful flowers and plants that gave a welcoming feeling.
Dramatist.
Also dramaturge, a writer of plays, dramas, or theatrical pieces.
Examples:
The dramatist's latest production. Modern dramatist. The famous dramatist wrote many successful plays during his career.
Ontology.
A branch of metaphysics concerned with the nature of being and the existence.
Examples:
Medical ontology. Ontology theory. The ontology of the universe is a complex and constantly evolving concept.
Conventionally.
In a way that follows accepted customs, rules, or standards, in a way that is typical or traditional.
Examples:
Conventionally dressed. Conventionally grown crops. Conventionally, doctors recommend getting at least 8 hours of sleep per night for optimal health.
Aphasia.
A language disorder that affects a person's ability to use or understand words, often caused by brain damage, such as stroke, brain injury, or neurological condition, which can result in difficulty speaking, writing, reading, or comprehending language.
Examples:
Global aphasia. Amnesic aphasia. After her stroke, my grandmother suffered from expressive aphasia, making it difficult for her to articulate her thoughts.
Gesture.
A movement of the hands, head, or face that express a particular meaning.
Examples:
Gesture of goodwill. Hand gesture. She made a facial gesture to express disagreement.
Invite.
To ask someone to come or join, to offer an opportunity or possibility for something to happen or take place.
Examples:
Invite guests. Invite criticism. We want to invite you to our annual charity event.
Choreograph.
To compose a sequence of dance steps, often to music.
Examples:
Choreograph a stage performance. Exquisitely choreographed. He had choreographed the dance in this play himself.
Instruct.
To teach someone practical skills or knowledge, to formally order or tell someone to do something.
Examples:
Instruct a student. Instruct a computer. The facility manager instructed the security guards to be on high alert.
Specific.
Clearly defined or particular to a certain thing or situation, distinct, explicit, and precise.
Examples:
Specific instructions. Industry-specific regulations. The scientist conducted a study that provided specific details about the species' behavior.
Tap.
To hit someone or something quickly, gently, and often repeatedly, to use existing resources, such as energy, knowledge, etc. Tap a new market. Tap keyboard with an index finger. To expand the company, we must tap new human resources.
Exclusive.
Not divided or shared with others.
Examples:
Exclusive authority. Exclusive clubs. The condo offers exclusive access to the beach.
Awesome.
Inspiring fear, admiration, or respect. Very good, nice, fun, etc.
Examples:
Awesome mental faculty. Have an awesome birthday. There is a lot of awesome nature and food in Hawaii.
Warp.
To twist or bend out of shape, especially as a result of being heated, to distort or twist the meaning or sense of something.
Examples:
Warp under pressure. Become warped. The ship's hull was warped from years of use in rough seas.
Countless.
Too numerous to be counted or very many.
Examples:
Countless hours. Answer countless questions. There are countless methods for dealing with stress.
Soundtrack.
The recorded audio that accompanies a movie, television program, or video game.
Examples:
Soundtrack album. A motion picture with a soundtrack. The soundtrack to the movie was composed by a famous musician.
Conclude.
To come to an end or close, to reach a judgment or opinion by reasoning.
Examples:
Conclude a meeting. Conclude that he is healthy. We concluded a ceasefire.
Ultimate.
Furthest or highest in degree or order.
Examples:
The ultimate goal in life. The ultimate luxury. Management must take ultimate responsibility for the accident.
Notion.
A general idea or understanding of something, particularly an abstract or complex concept, a belief or opinion, often one that is not based on solid evidence or facts.
Examples:
Notion of success. Vague notion. The notion of time travel has long fascinated scientists and fiction writers alike.
Paradigm.
A standard or typical example of something, a pattern or model.
Examples:
Major paradigm shift. Cultural paradigm. He postulated a completely different paradigm to explain all these phenomena.
Urge.
To spur on or encourage someone, especially by cheers and shouts. Noun, a strong desire or impulse, especially one that is difficult to control or resist.
Examples:
Urge a total ban. A sexual urge. The lobbyist urged Congress not to approve the measure.
Extent.
The point or degree or area to which something extends.
Examples.
Certain extent. The extent of the damage. I was amazed at the extent of her generosity.
Footnote.
A note of additional information provided at the bottom of a page in a book or document, often indicated by a superscript number or symbol in the main text.
Examples.
Footnote citation. Add a footnote. I included a footnote in my essay to provide additional information and sources for my argument.
Mention.
To speak or write about something or someone briefly.
Examples.
Mention name. Mention in a report. I mentioned to him that I had seen his sister at the grocery store earlier that day.
Defect.
An imperfection, shortcoming, or lack of something or someone.
Examples.
Visual defects. Defects of character. Defects in the design could cause much worse issues.
Obsessive.
Relating to or characterized by an obsession or excessive interest in a particular thing or activity, tending to dwell on or repeat certain thoughts or behaviors.
Examples.
Obsessive-compulsive disorder. Obsessive thoughts. Her obsessive behavior towards perfectionism often led to burnout.
Delusion.
A false belief or impression that is firmly held despite evidence to the contrary.
Examples.
Grand delusion. Labor under a delusion. He had a delusion that he was a millionaire.
Loathe.
To feel strong hatred or disgust for someone or something. To be unwilling or reluctant to do something.
Examples.
Loathe violence. Loathe broccoli. I absolutely loathe spiders and can't stand to be near them.
Schizophrenia.
A severe mental disorder in which a person has a distorted view of reality and may experience hallucinations, delusions, and disordered thinking and behavior.
Examples.
Schizophrenia spectrum disorder. Schizophrenia treatment. The schizophrenia patient was experiencing severe auditory hallucinations.
Dissociative.
Characterized by a disconnect or separation from reality, often due to trauma or stress, inducing a separation or division of a previously unified whole.
Examples.
Dissociative identity disorder. Dissociative state. The dissociative drug ketamine has been used to treat depression in some cases.
Identity.
The fact of being who or what somebody or something is, the features, emotions, or ideas that distinguish persons from one another.
Examples:
mistaken identity, identity as an individual. The terrorist's identity remains unknown.
Disorder.
An untidy state or a lack of organization, a physical condition or illness that causes problems with how a section of the body or brain functions.
Examples:
the files are in complete disorder. People with bipolar disorder. The doctor prescribed some medicine for the mental disorder.
Peril.
Serious and great danger or risk.
Examples:
the peril of the sea. Environmental peril. Due to hunger, the lives of the refugees were in peril.
Possibility.
A chance that something may happen or be true.
Examples:
possibility for growth. Possibility of a major earthquake. The possibility of getting the disease will drastically increase.
Fling.
To throw or push something or someone with force or recklessness, especially because you are angry.
Examples:
fling a stream of abuse. Fling a door open forcefully. He was provoked to fling the draft on the floor.